morning, guys. I wanted to show you my kitchen table set here that we got these at the Dollar Tree that I showed you a week ago. So I figured I'd put them out like this to help me not have so much clutter on the computer. I think it's inviting for when people come by. I'm going to get the special napkins, maybe like a nice yellow or green color, put the silverware out with it and some cups. But I thought that was nice looking. My son came over yesterday. He thought I was going to have company come over for dinner. He's really silly. Other than him and my mom, nobody comes over here and visits or anything. And basically, only 3 cups in the sink. This whole sink was full with dishes for 2 days. But I made some food in the crock pot yesterday. So I have some extra sauce on the side for it. But this is 4 cups of instant rice, white rice, fresh mushrooms, 1 red onion, a jar of red sweet peppers that I get at the Dollar Tree, and I save the juice and I use it for soups. Or I use it to marinate chicken, steak, and stuff like that. It's really good. It's very, very sweet and light. And it has 2 pounds of chicken, and a can of tomatoes, a can of sauce, 2 fresh garlics, garlic powder, onion powder, grated cheese, Parmesan, and then Kraft mozzarella shredded cheese in it. And I ended up cooking the chicken. Took me about 6.5 hours to cook the whole thing because the chicken was frozen, and I like to cook the chicken like that. That way it gives the water enough time to heat up in the crock pot, usually about an hour, hour and a half. So I cooked it on high. Came out great. 4.5 hours into it, I cut the chicken up to pieces, and since they were smaller, as they started to cook more, it just fell apart, kind of like shredded chicken. So it was really good, and as you can see, I have a lot left. I made 4 cups of instant rice, didn't think it was going to absorb the sauce that much, but it did. So like I said, I have extra sauce on the side. My husband's going to pick up some more Kraft shredded cheese. We have salsa, we have sour cream, so we might do a hot Mexican meal with it, because he has Jamaican spices, just to make it something different. And then I'll probably end up freezing the rest tomorrow, and taking it out next week, giving my mom some on Saturday when I go to the movies with her. So that's going on there. I finally brought up my bio grade from an 89 to a 91. I was stuck at an 88, 89 for 4 weeks now. My first discussion and my first lab report, I actually managed to get 100 in both of them, and that's what boosted my grade up. So I'm happy about that. I got all my work done for last week, but now my English teacher wants us to finish reading Just Mercy, chapters 7 through 12 this week. And yes, I'm listening to it audio, but I still have 8.5 hours audio of listening to it. So I don't know. I think we're going to have to start to write a paper next week, because next week is week 11, and we do have another essay paper we have to do. We're required online to do 2 English essays. The first one we did was a personal memoir, and she wanted it at least 1 page. My draft was 1 page. My final product was 3. And I ended up with 85 on that. So that's pretty good for my first attempt since the last English class I took with a UK teacher who was telling everybody to use the word comma all the time. It was ridiculous. And he wrote a little bit differently than we did. So that's what happened there. My husband just left to go to school. Peppy is kind of being lazy, like usual. She likes the heat. And I ended up going to bed at 6 o'clock last night. I was so exhausted. We ate at 5, and I was in bed at 6. And I woke up at 3:47 in the morning. I played The Walking Dead for about 30 minutes on my cell phone, and then I watched some AMSR videos. I watched about 3 of them. Then I fell asleep in a chair, and I got up at 9:48, almost an hour ago. So now I'm going to start my day, but I was just totally exhausted. Usually I do good with school until week 8, and there's 15 weeks. And then I start to get really exhausted and really tired with it. With the change in the seasons and the snow melting, and it's starting to get a little bit warmer. It's not in the low 30s anymore. It's in the high 40s and low 50s. I tend to get tired during this period. So hopefully I can just knock out some work. I have videos to watch in every single class this week. I have something to do with the library. I have to look for an article, and I have to summarize it on a piece of paper, and then I have to post it next week for discussion. So she's kind of having us do next week's work now. This is why I'm saying next week she's probably going to tell us to write an essay on Just Mercy or on an experience we had similar to it, I would imagine. Since the first paper that we did was a personal memoir, it kind of goes hand in hand, because this guy is talking about his experience as a lawyer before he became a judge with people on death row. So I just think that's going on with that. I looked at my lab report. It's probably going to take me about 5 hours just to do my lab and write up the report this week. Last week it was very easy. It was simple. I did my own little research. Ended up with a 98. And it took me about an hour to do. So that's the difference, is if the laboratory's lab work is going to be harder with more parts to it. After this week, we only have 3 more left. And week 15, I think the teachers online just ask you to say bye to everybody and wish them luck or summarize what you learned throughout the semester. So week 15 should be easy. So basically it's going to be the next 4 weeks is going to be the toughest. I don't have any more tests or exams right now, so that's good. I wrote up my interview for the bank. It ended up being 4 pages long. So I'll find out how I did on that hopefully soon. That teacher, Ian, is usually very quick to put in grades, which is good. I'm still waiting on my English teacher to put in 6 grades. So I don't know what's going on with that. It would be nice if they just put the grades in, so that way we know what's going on, even if she just did it every 3 weeks and put in the grades. But it is what it is. I can't change how teachers do their grading system. So I recorded yesterday AMSR video. I was requested to do cardboard ripping up. So I ended up doing that, even though I did do one 4 weeks ago. I had a couple pieces of cardboard, so I just went ahead and did that for one of my followers. And I'm planning on putting my nails back on and pre-recording some videos. If not today, probably tomorrow, because my husband goes to class early in the morning on Wednesdays. So I'll have more time alone to be able to do that. And other than that, not too much more going on. We wrote Carlito, our son, a card, and we sent him some Pokemon cards that we found, so that he can utilize that. He likes to collect them. And it's just a thinking of you card. And his older brother signed it. Came over yesterday, signed it, and then we signed it. So with a little message for him. We were planning on going over there in May, because I get out May 8th. My husband, unfortunately, at a 4-year college, does not get out until May 18th. We both go back to school May 23rd. There's just no way to drive all the way up to New York when everybody's on vacation. When there's no traffic, it takes us 8 hours. With traffic, anywhere from 10 to 12. That's a whole day. There's no way. And then have to be back here Sunday at a normal, decent time to go to bed so that we both would be refreshed for the next day, first day of class. So we're just going to do something out here, and then in August, we'll go ahead and we'll do something because we usually start the second week in August. So, or maybe one of his mini vacations, because he ends up getting 2 mini vacations. It's 5 work days, but it ends up being 9 days total. So that's 18 days right there of vacation time that this is just what they do. They feel a 4-year college, it helps the kids not be burnt out as much. I've heard of one, 9-day, 10-day mini vacation, but not 2 of them. He had his first one the end of February. He gets his second one the second week in April. But that's just how they do it out here, so it's making it very difficult to go ahead and do things. To be able to go to New York when we do get the 30 days off for Christmas vacation, we end up getting 30 days off, both of us. But there's nothing to do, really, with snow on the ground in New York. My son doesn't like the cold. He doesn't want to walk around it. He doesn't want to play in it. So what we want to do is hopefully go ahead and take him to the zoo, because I've never been. He hasn't been in like 3 years. Dave and Buster's again. We want to take him, get him some clothes for school. I've never really been able to do that with him because I just never had the money. And he has to have specific clothing for his school. He can't wear just anything, which is kind of up there in prices. So I'm hoping to get him 1 or 2 outfits. And maybe another game. Go to GameStop, get him another game or something. So these are just some things that we're hoping to do when we're out there with him. We want to take him to the movies too. So these are things that we would do one day at a time. We were trying to go out there and spend 4 full days with him. The last time we went, I only had 4 days total. A whole day of traveling. You gotta sleep. We ended up with like a day and a half total with him. And it was me, my husband, and his grandmother. So it made it a little bit difficult. But we will see what happens. And I hope everybody has a great Tuesday. Bye, everybody.